Hey, this is Mr. McKim, and I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about some of the things that you'll run into or that we get to work with this year. And so we'll put together a video, several videos spliced together just to kind of give you some ideas. So when you come to school, you'll know some of the ins and outs of our expectations. First of all, masks are to be worn, and as you can see, under the chin and over the nose is an expectation of that. And we'll ask you to do that when you're on school grounds. So when you get outside of your car or when you get out of your car in the morning, go ahead and throw that thing on, and we'll work with that. Unless you're eating something or getting a drink, we would expect that of our staff and of you. So we thank you for working with that. I'm at the main entrance here. This is where those of you that are riding in cars, parents are dropping you off, or family is dropping you off, or friends, you'll be dropped off right here, and then this is one of our two student entrances. So we'll go add in the other entrance here in a second, but this is the main entrance and one of your options for coming in the morning. 7:20 is when these doors will open at either of the two entrances. Okay, so as you can see, face mask is on, required for entry. This is again still the main entrance, and just to show you what it'll be like, we'll walk through these doors here, and then we'll temperature check when we get through the second set of doors, and I'll show you that process. So kind of hang with me here. This door will be open. I'm going to badge it right now. This door will be open starting at 7:20, as we said earlier. And so we'll just ask you to come through these doors and then come up to one of our three, in this location, our 3 temperature checks. And so you simply walk up to it, stand about this far away, measure your temperature. I'm normal temperature, so now I can go ahead and go on into school and participate. And it depends on what time it is, but these doors back to the academic wings over there and over here will open up at 7:35. At that time, we really want to disperse a great deal around the building. At 7:20, if you're here between 7:20 and 7:35, we would ask you to go down to the commons area and again maintain social distancing when you're down there to the best of your abilities. So just for those of you that are driving yourselves, as you know, the student parking lot is over here, and we would ask that you would park and get out of your car and then come on into the school when you get here. Those of you that are riding bus, you'll still enter in the same spot location-wise with that bus, and then come up this sidewalk here. Students will enter the building as we see at the activities entrance, and inside of these we have 9 different temperature stations, so it'll be fairly quick, we hope. Bear with us this first couple days as we work out that process, but there's 9 checkers in there. Walk in, again, the same process as we did at the main entrance. So we're here in the lunchroom, and as you can see to our left and to our right that we have taken some chairs and moved some tables to provide opportunities for social distancing better. We'll also have some seating down the hall that will allow for that as well. Please keep these chairs in their locations. We will not do more than 4 chairs to a table, and the high top tables are together, and there are 4 chairs there, so it allows for social distancing better. As you can see over here, we have signs on the floor that as we're entering the food area, maintain social distancing through there. You'll notice as we go to lunch, it's not 3 specific lunch periods with a bell. Your teacher will have a time that they are to go to lunch, and so at that time, you guys will come down and get in your line here as you head into this location. And then we will announce, if you're in Mr. Gray's classroom for lunch, when your time is up, we'll announce in the lunchroom here, Mr. Gray's class needs to go back to their room, and you'll get up and leave at that time. So as we move back as you're moving to the lunch period, as you said, you'll line up here, move fairly quickly. I'll show you the differences in the serving area here. It's now called the Lion's Lair. We do have a la carte. It will still be something that we use. The selections won't be as many, but we will have a la carte for you that will be something that costs you money. Your lunches this year, due to we have a special deal for you, I guess. Lunches and breakfast that are served through here are free, and so they won't cost you anything for that. We will not have as many entrees. We also don't have choices or opportunity for you to dish your own. So everything will be bagged for you. Everything will be in a wrapper of some kind. That's part of the things that we have to do to try and keep you safe. Okay, so we're inside the serving area. There'll be two lines that are used right now. This one right here, and then that one right there. So you go one of those two locations. Again, these coolers won't be used on the side. We'll try and have cones over these, but there's also nothing in the middle here to serve yourself. Everything will be in the bag that you grab. So you'll grab that. Mr. Gray wanted me to mention that there are no condiments for these, so you are what you get in the bag, and that is for you to eat. When you come over here, you grab your bag. You still need to go through the line, even though it is free. You go through the line. You still have to punch in your number. We have to have that so that we are reimbursed for the food that you're eating. Again, it does not cost if you eat breakfast or lunch here at school. If you do bring your own food, or you want to heat up some of our food up, we do still have the microwave on either location as well as down there. There'll be a sign here that says, please wipe down or clean between usage. That would be for the keys right here. So as you come up, there should be something to wipe this with here. Go ahead and do that. Put your food in, put the time in, and then get your food, get on out of here. Next person up, take a Lysol wipe, clean that, and then repeat the process. So we still do have that option for you. Okay, so I'm at the stairwells. These are back in the academic wing. I'm actually, a couple ways to say that. The sophomore hall is right above me. This is the end of the senior hall, and then down below me is the first floor. Another way to say that, that's the 2400s, this is the 3400s, and this is the 1100s down below me. So one thing that we're going to change as far as movement between classes and before and after school is these outside hallways. So this hallway, these outside staircases, this one, and then the one on the other side over in the freshman and the junior hallways, those are going to be down-only staircases. So down-only staircases on the edges, and then the middle one, which is by the learning stairs, and from the first floor up, right by the learning stairs, that is going to be an up-only staircase. So again, we're trying to minimize that cross-trafficking just a little bit. So this is a down-only staircase. The other one in the academic wing on the far side is a down-only staircase, and the learning stairs is an up-only staircase. We have 3 other staircases in the building. 2 of those are found in the commons area, and 1 is down by the gym. Those staircases are both directions, so they don't change at all. It's simply these 3 staircases in the academic wings. Okay, so just a little bit about classroom expectations and classroom behavior and what you're going to see in the classrooms. You can see we're in Mr. Baz's room here. When you come in, grab a paper towel from the stack of paper towels that we'll have. We just have a little, you got to help us out a little bit. We're going to try and disinfect it. So teachers will be putting some disinfectant on your desk. You'll just grab a paper towel, wipe that off. You come in, then you can sit down, and you'll be ready to start class. If you have the rolly chairs or the rolly desks, or the triangle cubes, they'll be spaced periodically about 3-foot distance at least. Depending on the class that you have and how many kids are in that class, they may be spaced more. If you're in a class like this that has these tables, you will need to straddle. To get that 3-foot distance, you'll need to straddle the end legs. And so I know that's not optimal, but it is something that we need to do to make sure that we have 3-foot of distance here, and then we can space these to have 3-foot of distance there. You'll be in the same seat, so whether that's assigned seats from the teacher or allowing you to sit where you want that first day and then maintaining that. It's not because we don't trust you, it is because of contact tracing. If we do have a concern that the county health department contacts us, we need to be able to say, in Mr. Basler's classroom when Mr. Gray was sitting here. These are the people that were sitting around him at that time. So teachers have been asked to make sure they take attendance, but also make sure they know where you were sitting and who was sitting around you. I'm here in the junior hallway in front of the bathrooms and in front of some of our water fountains, which are a couple things that will also be important as we move through. As far as the water fountains are concerned, there will be, we have 2 bottle fillers here, and we do ask that everybody bring their own water bottle when they come with them, keep it in their bag. These we're hoping are replaced by Thursday when you're all here, or Wednesday when some of you are here, with actual bottle fillers in each location. But the other thing is bathrooms, and of course this is a place where you can go to the bathroom and to wash your hands, both of which are important. Washing hands has become even more important, as you know, to our hygiene. So we want to be aware of how many people are in there and try not to get too many of us in there at the same time. So stagger or do your best to be aware of what that is and then not pack people in there. And make sure you're doing a good job washing your hands after you use the bathroom, but also any time that you, as you move through the day, it's been a while since you washed your hands, give your hands a good washing. Okay, so this is the last one that we'll do, and I want to start by saying, for those of you that are returning to us, we are excited to see you again, and even if we're just seeing from the nose up, we're still excited to see you. For those that will be with us on Wednesday of next week, we're excited to meet you and know that this is well, we are proud of the pride here, is a way to say that. We are certainly proud of the school that we are and the community that we support, and so we are excited that you're going to be a part of that. A few things that we wanted to make sure we discuss before we close out and before you come on Wednesday. For those that are new, we do start at 8 o'clock this year, so 5 minutes earlier for all of you returnees, and we will, for those that, again, that are coming on Wednesday, it's an 8 o'clock to 3:10 start. We talked a little bit about the temperature stations and some of those precautions that we're taking, wash your hands, etc. I want to tell you this up front. If you're not feeling well, if you are sick or running a fever, we want you to make sure a parent calls you in and stay home. It's important that we are all monitoring our health in a number of ways, and coming sick is something that we want to be even more aware of than we have been in the past. If you're running a temperature here, we're going to check it a few times for you, but then you're going to have to go home. And so if you're taking that temperature at home and you're running a fever, we want you to go ahead and stay home and go ahead and call us in. Also, if you take something like aspirin or ibuprofen or something to get your temperature down, again, if you take that, we want you to stay home and keep that there. If you are home and you do Zoom in, even though you're not a remote student, so if I'm not feeling well today and I do feel well enough to Zoom into my classes and I get to all 7 of my classes, you'll be counted present for those classes. And there are some classes enrollees that you'd be enrolled in that may be in-person only classes, and you'd have to figure that out. But the majority of our classes can be done either in person or remotely. And so if you're not feeling well that day, have your parent call in, let us know, and then if you're still able to feel good enough to remote in and be a productive member of that class remotely, we will count you present for that day. On Friday, everyone is remote, and so the one thing that you have to make sure that you check in with is at 9:15 on Fridays to 9:40 will be CCR check-in, and that's where we will take attendance. If you don't make that Zoom session, you will be absent for the day, and need to again report that to us or to our attendance secretary as to the reasons why you will be absent. But 9:15 to 9:40 is the responsibility for you. We've asked our teachers to assign about 50 minutes of work in their class. That can look a little different depending on the class, but for that day, about 50 minutes of work, so you'll get that done in the time that best fits you. I will also include right here that the late work policy that we instituted last year, actually the year before last, will be back and used as it was the first semester last year. So be aware of those guidelines and those expectations and make sure that you're turning stuff in on time. Friday will be a little different in the fact that we're not used to taking Fridays in a way that will be remote, but it is something that the work is still going to need to be completed in the time expectation that the teacher sets up. Moving on down, masks are part of the dress code. So obviously if you're a solid color or multicolored mask, if there's just color on there, that's not a problem at all. If I have Lansing lines or anything else that is school appropriate embroidered or embossed on the mask, that's certainly fine. The key is to make sure the mask is also school appropriate attire, and it just fits right in with what we're doing there. I mentioned earlier about Friday, September 11th, so next Friday, a week from today, is the one exception to our Fridays for this first semester. It will be in person. So those of you that were planning on doing Friday remotely on the 11th, you need to make sure you change those plans and be here in person on September 11th. Obviously, those of you that are full-time remote will remote in as you did on Thursday and as you will do the following Monday. I think that's it at this time. As I said before, we are excited to see you. You have a few more days to sleep in, but we, starting on Wednesday for those of you that are new, and on Thursday for those of you that are returning, we can't wait to work with you this year. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you next week.